Welcome to the season finale of How We Bounce Back. We want to wish you all a happy holidays. And please stay safe if you are gathering, traveling, and keep hand sanitizing those hands. And don't worry too much, those stimulus checks are coming. We can't believe we're at the end of the year as we look back on accomplishment and just making it to the finish line. That is a 2020. We really want to reflect on what might be the toughest times we have ever seen at any point in our lives. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers are with those that have suffered through any amount of pain this year has brought to us. As 2020 might not be the best year of our lives, it should be the year that we found the most meaningful, and as we continue to 1, prioritize our health and our mental health, and 2, continue to push for systemic equity at work and anything we approach in life. Remember to take what you have learned from the bad times so when you cross that bridge again, it's a smooth way to the other side. Now let's introduce our final surprise guest. She's hailing from West Rembo in the Philippines. She's a near 40-year nurse at Howard University Hospital. She's crazy and loud when she's with her sisters. She's actually kind of mean to me growing up in grade school when I didn't get A's in class, but definitely turned that around. But she's lived beyond any expectations that her 2 sons and her future daughter-in-law can ever ask for in a mom. She is my mom, Luz Velasquez. Hey Mom, thank you for joining this week's episode. How are you feeling and are you ready to take on these questions?
Sure, I'm ready. I've been practicing.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to start off with some soft questions to begin the episode as I've been doing with the rest of the guests all season long. So the first question I want to ask, what was the most fun time in your life prior to your time in America?
Okay, the most fun I had was when we were in vacation in a province, which is a rural area in the Philippines. It's like a rural area here in America. I grew up in a city like LA, DC, something like that, so I don't know the places. I don't know how the kids in the provinces and my sisters and my brother will go there. And it's a different kind of life, because, they have animals, like, animals on the street, and like they're not in the zoo. And the fun time is riding on those carabaos. Carabaos like a caribou over here. And then they're bareback. You don't put anything there. You ride in there and then wow. You can walk around. And we tried planting rice plants in a rice field. And when you plant those rice in the rice fields, you are barefoot. You don't have any shoes or anything because you step on the mud with water. And at first it's kind of the mud will go into your feet, but you plant those plants and in a line. It's very hard because you're always on your back and planting one by one on those things, and that's fun. And then swimming in a stream, not swimming pool, and getting all those fruits on the trees, and it's ripe and it's very sweet. It was fun, and and having this kind of a different kind of experience, because back there, that was 1960s and 70s, when you're young, all these new things you play with, all these kinds of stones, you throw it into the water and stream, and you jump into the water, which is like a stream. That was fun, and I love it. Okay.
That's amazing, Mom. Wow. Next question. I want to ask, can you describe a funny time with Nia and Louie when you first arrived to America? I know some viewers through Clea Bryan's podcast and our podcast, they know that you and Nia and Louie immigrated to the United States together in pursuit of a nursing career and growing family here. I know also, of course, I shared a story at Dad's 50th birthday of when you two first met each other. So I'm sure there's many funny stories with you and Dad. So maybe you can share two stories here. It's kind of a two-part question.
Okay.
But do you have any funny times with your early years here in America?
Okay, the one with I came here, it's not that really very sad or very it's shocking because America is big, right? But then the thing is, the city is not so shocking because I live in Manila. So when Louis, one of our best friends in high school, was with me because both of us are nurses, and we were recruited here at the same time. We went to the same place, which is Hobbs, New Mexico. Hobbs, New Mexico is a place that is one of the rural area. That one city is like 10 miles away from another city. Like Arlington or Alexandria are not side by side. They are a little bit, there's a desert in between. So, that's kind of shocking to us because both of us were living in Manila, and it's a city. It's like LA, definitely like LA. We have our malls and things like that over there, clubs, but we're still young. We're like 20, 21 years old at the time. But the first time we arrived in LAX airport, we were about to go to another building to pick up another friend. Actually, just a co-worker, but it's the first day. We've been standing there for a long time, me and her standing, and then these cars won't stop. We couldn't cross the street in order to go to the other building. And then here's another guy came, and he said, you're gonna be standing there forever for a long time if you don't press this button, and then the car will stop and they will let you cross across the street. And they were laughing so much because we look at each other, and the guy pushed this button on the post, and the car stopped, and then we were able to cross the street. We look at each other. That's the first one that we feel like, oh my gosh, it's a different kind of world. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is very very entertaining for one of us, because we kind of weren't we feeling like we're stupid or what? But when we arrived in New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico, it was dark. It was nighttime because it's about like 11 p.m. The one who picked us up brought us in a motel. So we were able to sleep there for one night. As soon as we woke up, one of our co-workers was shouting, screaming, and something like, "Oh my God, where are we? Oh my God!" We went out, and then we saw all the desert around us, and that's how the motel is. The only building in that area, and all around is a desert. So it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary and fun, but fun because we arrived in America, and it's a very far place, and we thought we're gonna have our own freedom. We can do whatever we want. There's no mom or dad, there's no nanny or tate who will tell us, oh, don't do that, don't do this, things like that. But this is the thing that is like we are excited because we're gonna do this thing, being independent and do whatever we want to do without anybody telling us what not to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a fun time for your Nina and Louie, because at least we're together, at least we can talk each other if we're sad or something that we miss, back home. And then, at least, we didn't suffer that much, actually. It was a great experience, for us. But meeting your dad, that was really something different. The first time I met your dad, he's drunk. He drank a lot because we were in a party, and he didn't know, I guess, what he's gonna meet or what I'm gonna meet. But as soon as we meet again the second time, I guess he likes me. So, and I said, okay, we go and try. But otherwise, the fun time with him is when he's trying to, I was trying to see if I can if I can meet somebody, because of course I met a lot coming here from Hobbs, New Mexico to Washington DC is kind of different. So I know already the culture. I know already how the way is, and I met different kinds of culture, different kinds of men, different kinds of white, black, and Asian or people like that. So your dad said we'll try, and he's in the Navy, which is kind of his lucky because he's stationed in here at that time that we met each other. So the fun time came is after we went close together, and that's the fun time that we had, because the first time I went to Disney is with him and a couple of friends, and that's the fun time. At least we know and met and see how he is at the time when we were young.
Mom, I definitely want to go into like the tougher human connection questions that we've asked all of the guests all season, which is the purpose of the show. So, let's get serious and let's discuss. The first question I want to ask: after working nearly 40 years as a nurse, specifically as an ICU nurse at Howard University Hospital, how has this pandemic impacted the way you look at your final years in your career?
Okay. This pandemic is really difficult, for the health workers, okay? This tells me also with these coronavirus patients that in order for you to be a nurse and to take care of them, the nurses are very dedicated, selflessly take care of patients with this kind of illness or this problem. And then it's impacted the way I look at my career in the final years, because the bedside nursing is really something that is hard, and the nurse should be really dedicated to that kind of job, because there's a fear always, even though the health workers, especially ICU nurses, we take care of all those hemodynamically or very critically ill patients. So once a patient becomes better from being very critical that you think they're dying, it's very fulfilling for us. But the thing is, even though we are wearing this patient protective equipment for all of us, there's still fear for you. That's why this is my final years of my career. Of course I'm scared. What if I get this one and I take care of patients like that? Is that only for myself? What if I carried it and bring it outside to my loved ones and then make them sick, or going out in the public and then you just spread the disease? So that kind of mentality. But the thing is, of course, you're not doing that, because you are wearing this PPE. From head to toe we are covered before we go in, But sometimes, bedside nursing is difficult and giving a heavy toll to all the nurses, especially those who take care of the patients who are at bedside. If you think about it, they're inside the room, patients inside the room. And then once they get sick or they need you cannot go jump in and go inside the patient's room. You have to protect yourself too, because you might get something if you go there and you're not properly attired. So you are attired before you want to have that kind of feeling. Oh my God, he cannot breathe. I want to go inside, and then he might code, or he might stop his breathing. But you in your mind, you have to protect also yourself, because you're not only taking care of him, you are taking care of others. And me, I help my co-workers, because I do these charge duties at night. And they need my help too. So you have to protect and wear all your gears from head to toe before you go inside the patient's room. Of course, wearing those things is like, it's not like a second that you are all geared up and go inside and jump into the patient to help them out. It takes a minute or two for you to wear all of those gears, okay? But I believe this taking care of patients, bedside nursing, emergency nurses in ICU is frontliners, and then the first responders in the outside of the field, emergency services, including the emergency nurses. We are the one that is holding the patients. We are the one that taking care of them. Doctors, of course, is also a part of that, but I'm just saying that bedside nursing is really you have to be dedicated in order to do that to your career, and also you are dedication to preserve a life of a person, and also a dedication for you to help others in education and teaching them. Of course, the public is a part of doing that, because the prevention is the best way to stop this this pandemic. But when it comes to my career, because I'm doing the bedside nursing, these nurses are the nurses, I believe, are also heroes, which of course people are saying they're heroes, but the thing is, in spite there's a feeling of scared, of being the fear of taking care of them, we still do it. And then my colleagues are still doing it, and some of of course, all of the nurses across the world are doing that. So as if once you have a patient that get better, and it's kind of fulfilling for us that sometimes even though they're not doing very well, and then they are saying, I'm good, thank you very much for helping us, thank you very much for helping me, and or talking to me about it and telling me things about it. That is very fulfilling for us, because it's not about being grateful. It's just the way that you give something to other people. And as a nurse, you give the best that self, the best of care. Forget about the standards of care. You give whatever that is the right thing to the patient, and whatever that is the correct thing, and whatever that is also fulfilling and helping their mind to survive that kind of illness, because nobody can be with them. They're only over the phone with their family, which is also very good. But physically, mentally, nurses are the one in their bedside, giving them all the care, giving them the support, and it impacted me, because at least this is not the only time the crisis that I experienced. Years before, I experienced the AIDS, the boom and the entrance of this AIDS into our system, into our country, and into the health, the AIDS that started in the 1980s and 90s. But of course, this is much worse, because it's in a larger scale. But I'm almost final years of my career, and it becomes it's uplifting to my heart that I gave something, at least patients, and then even staying the bedside nursing, at least I see somebody who who survived this kind of critically ill patients that is really dying, who survived this kind of illness. And that is something, looking at them, you think, oh my God, I hope he's not gonna go downhill, and then gradually they will survive, and we learn the new thing on how to take care of these patients, which is totally different from a long time ago, with different kind of illness like ARDS, which is almost the same as this AIDS, because concerning of the heart. We learn something. So by the time I will retire, I guess I said, at least I have something that I gave to somebody. I have something that help out with my coworkers, especially the young nurses. I was able to help them how to do this, and and support, and for me, I said, I will retire, and at least I know for sure that I help a lot of people, and I taught a lot of people on how to handle this kind of problem, mentally, physically, and I'm about ready to retire.
My next question to you is, what is your advice for those up and coming nurses today? And like, not even today during the pandemic, but beyond the pandemic. Say there was no more pandemic and the nurses aren't as motivated as they were before. What is your advice for them now as they're up and coming in their careers?
The nurses, as a nurse, all we have to do as a nurse is to give the best of what we could give, the best thing that you can do. You cannot do anything wrong as long as you follow, you do the standards of care, and you are dedicated to whatever you're doing, okay? And I think all the nurses taking care of patients are really great. We are all doing great. We are doing the best we can. And the nurses, as long as you're content and then you like what you're doing, you're happy with what you're doing, and you're happy to serve other people, you do good. You will do good because you think of other people.
Yeah.
You are not thinking about yourself. Taking care of patients or taking care of the sick patients, you are not only doing it as a job. You are doing it as a service to them. You are giving the best. All you have to do is doing the best and continue with your education. You go the way that what you want to do, as long as it's good for you, and you understand what you're doing, and and it's give you satisfaction. If you're doing something that doesn't give you satisfaction, you're not gonna be happy.
Yeah.
You have to be happy to do to your job. You have to have that kind of feeling of satisfaction that you do the right thing, and you have to have that feeling that that you are helping others. Okay, that's all I can say with the new nurses.
Now, Mom, thank you for so much for all of the answers with nursing and your time working at the hospital. I know that's going to be beneficial for those that are struggling during these times, that have a loved one in the hospital or have loved ones that are pursuing that line of work. So hearing that from a professional like you is very meaningful, with especially the 40 years that you have given to that. But now I want to ask, going on a different route.
Okay.
And it could be tied to nursing, or it could be tied to family, it could be tied to your personal life, could be tied to something before coming to America. But are you able to pinpoint one single toughest time in your life, and how did you bounce back from that?
Okay. The worst time is when you are very, very young, you and Jeff, and the first time that your dad went in overseas.
Oh yeah.
And I know that I work night shift in the hospital, and then of course I was thinking, and we were thinking actually, your dad and I, how are we gonna handle this, because the line of job that he's gonna do is not accompanied by family. He is in a line of job that is he has to do it on his own, and he's gonna be stationed out of the country. Okay, so we decided to get my mom and dad to help us out and take care of you when I'm sleeping at nighttime, or when I'm at work. Of course, somebody will be with the two of you. And the toughest time is we are deciding if he's gonna go overseas because it's good for 4 years. The line of job he has to go is no accompaniment by family, or in a different kind of work overseas accompanied by family. But the thing is, my job, my career is now gonna be held because overseas, the nursing is kind of limited because you only work in the base military hospitals, right? And the military hospital, they are limited for civilian nurses because there's a lot of Navy or Army already in the, as if it's very few that you can go in and be a civilian nurse in a military base because they're already established. So most of the nurses who accompany the husband doesn't have a job, or they just stay inside the house or take care of the kids, which I don't like. I don't want to be inside the house.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be just being a mom, household mom. I guess that's how I am, so I kind of think, do I go with him, or do we go with him, or do I just stay here and let him go for 4 years without us? So I guess I talked to him, and I think he knows my personality, that I cannot be inside the house all those years, like 4 years or 6 years, and take care of the two of you. I don't think I can handle to be not doing anything, honestly. So we decided that my mom, my nana and tate will be here to be with me, and then he will just come home, whatever when it's allowed. Of course, that's what he did, and that is ongoing for the next. Because we talk it for long range, okay? It's not only for that first 4 years. So we talk it over, and then of course we have a new house, so I don't want it to be rented, and so we talk, and then it's a long range plan that is gonna be happen for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
And that's what we decided. It's only my decision, but it's a low point for my life because of course, the bonding between you guys and with your dad is not gonna be 100%. Of course, it's gonna be only with me. And he said, and his career, and he doesn't, and I don't want him to get out of the Navy too, because he likes working for the Navy. And I said, yeah, that's fine. You can go home like a year or 1 year, something like that. And that's what we did. The toughest time too is when you do the homework. And sometimes I cannot answer the questions, especially in math. I'm very good in math. I cannot answer the questions. So those times there's no email or anything, right? So of course we called to the line of the military lines, and sometimes he answered. But the funny thing is, when he was in Iraq, stationed in Iraq, and he was in USNS Comfort, and there was a question that I cannot answer, and there's no Google yet, okay? The internet is kind of different. So I will email him the answer, and then he will email me back, I will email him the questions or the problem, and he will email me back the answer, so that and you do that. But within those 15 years, of course, that's the very first time that we decide, that's the lowest point, of course. But the bonding of you guys is kind of the real one that we are talking about, and at least we hold on. At least you got bonded with your dad, and afterwards, and then within those few years that we go on vacation, or when he goes in vacation with us, I think it did good, because as I could see, you still close with your dad, Jeff, and you close with your dad, and it did not do anything really hard or harmful to both of you, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. You still looked at as a hero for being overseas.
Very thankful for that. Yeah.
But off the record, it's still recording right now. But you made a good decision staying here, because having children of military family, that's disruptive in growing up as children, and seeing different friends from different location. You're okay, we're best friends, but hey, 2 years later, you're moving again.
And
so
so I think at those times, I think I was thinking I'm selfish, because I was also thinking about my career, and how I don't want to be staying at home, and how I might not find a job. And of course, I won't be able to find a job out of the military base, because I don't know the language. And then I guess that's not allowed. I don't know. But, something that is, I said, no, I have to really go ahead with this, because I don't want to be moving from one country to another, things like that. And I mean, it did not turn bad, and I think we're okay.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think also I know obviously dad living far away is obviously challenging because you know you're trying to foster a relationship with husband and the
Mm-hmm.
dad, right?
Yeah.
But I think you know you live far from Nana and Tatai for a long time when you're with young Louie here, right? And
Yes.
then also you know obviously away from dad, and then me being in LA last 4 years you know that distance sometimes you actually get closer with distance, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every time dad came back home when he was
Yeah.
overseas it was the most exciting day
Oh,
ever, you
yes,
know.
of course.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's right. Uh-huh. And that goes with a lot of military families. And few of us is the same in our situation. Some of them are like us, which is, cause the military family, they talk to each other sometimes when you see each other in the, in a military base, and some
yeah,
of your dad's friends are my friends too. So that's kind of really, really difficult when how the family are far apart from each other. But at least now we're doing, we're here and we're okay.
hmm,
We're as a family, we are very, very lucky because I have my mother and my
oh yeah,
father
yeah,
with us,
hmm,
and they're the one that really support me. And I don't think Jim and I will survive as a family to be too far apart if they're not here to take care of you when you were young.
I
So
agree.
I'm very grateful for that. And then your Tita Betty comes, so she helped me with bringing you to a lot of your activities,
Yes,
which is I'm grateful. And when I'm sleeping, she brings you to baseball
yep,
or soccer, or and
yep,
and at least I have support from my extended family, and that's the best thing that ever happened with me, because other families are not lucky as we are. They don't
hmm,
have any support. They have they have to pay for caretaker, things like that. And I'm really grateful for my mom, my father, and my dad, and of course Tita Betty also. I'm grateful that he came when you were very young, and have
hmm,
somebody. I have a chauffeur for the two of you at least.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed out the different circumstances with a lot of people. I think in the case of me and Jeff, it's very fortunate because grandparents to grandkids
Yes.
relationship is
Yes.
very powerful, and
That's right.
obviously we had that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
family is
yeah,
supportive, is one of the best that will help you out in needy times.
yes, yeah. Good answer, Mom. Okay, well, you know, we're winding down towards the end of the interview. I know we have so many plans for Christmas, so we gotta get going. But I do want to ask, and please take all the time you need to answer this. Our golden question of the season: if there's one big piece of advice of anything you can share with the audience, one big piece of advice, what would that be?
Okay, life is short, right? So you do the best of all the things that you have to do. You don't do halfway. Do the best. If you think this is the best, you do it. In spite that sometimes there's some hindrance or something like, I cannot do this, I have to do that. No, you have to think forward. You have to think of the future. And then, when you're doing this best, everything that is best, that you think is best for you and best for your family, you do that. But don't think about doing it something that is, the people around you will be the one to help you out, and you have to say, don't do to others what you don't want others to do to you, but always strive for the best, you know and the thing is, doing the best is not a luck. Okay, it's hard work.
Mhm.
Hard work for yourself to achieve what you want, and hard work for your family to achieve what you want for your family. You have your immediate family is going to be your future wife and your children. So you think of something, you think of what they're going to be the best thing that will you give to your wife and your future children. And also for yourself. You have to be happy in order to be, in order to be satisfied is to be happy of what you do. You don't do something that because I want to do this because I want to earn $1 million, but you're not happy and you're not satisfied with your work. You have to meet it halfway. Be happy, but you're doing the best thing that you want for yourself and for your family. And also something that is you're going to be proud of saying, I did this on my own. Okay? Yeah. That's the best thing I could say.
Amazing words. Yeah. All right, Mom. Well, before we sign off, I didn't, of course, script this out for you, but we want to ask one more lighthearted question. Who is your favorite Star Wars character of all time?
Of course, Harrison Ford.
Why Han Solo?
He's handsome.
Oh my God.
But I don't like the last one. They killed him and he let himself to be killed. I hate that.
Yeah, I agree. No, boo Kylo Ren.
No, not that last part, okay?
Yeah.
I like the Star Wars, the old ones.
Yes, everyone does.
I like them.
Yes.
With Luke Skywalker. Those the ones that I like the best, of course. And it's something different,
the OGs, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
and I want to say shout out to all the health workers.
Yes.
Shout out for the nurses.
Yes.
You are you are great. And of course, those first responders who first touch the patients that they don't know what they're getting. But shout out to them and be safe. Be safe and follow all the guidelines. That's all to protect the health workers. Be safe, follow the guidelines. Protect yourself so that you can protect your own family too.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Mom. Well, thank you so much again, Mom, for joining the show. I know this is not the most traditional format for you to share your story, but like I said in the intro, you definitely exceeded the expectations. Jeff, myself, Rosemary, I have ever asked for.
I have my first daughter now.
yes,
Rosemary.
3.
Actually, I have 2 first daughters. I have Michelle, who I take her when she was a baby.
Yes, very
and
true.
then my former daughter, Rosemary. Okay.
Yes, for sure, Mom. And then of course we're proud of you and all the work you've done at Howard. You've described that. We love you. And especially we admire all the work you've done for the patients. I couldn't even imagine how many patients you've taken care of over that 40-year career. So, very proud of you. Your story will definitely be passed on to our grandchildren. So we're excited to share that. Of course, maybe we'll share this video someday. And, we hope that our listeners and viewers have found something meaningful in this episode to share with their families, of course, from their point of view. And, of course, all of us together, we're excited for the blessings in the next year. So thank you again, Mom.
You're welcome.